for stopping by my channel today. This week's 2-minute talk, I can promise you, will not be 2 minutes. I can just kind of feel, as I've been thinking about the things I wanted to say, that it's going to be longer than 2 minutes, but we're going to go with it. I wanted to discuss today your survival at Thanksgiving dinner, and I'll explain why in just a second. The motto of my channel has been, and always has been, and kind of the motto of my life is, there's more to life than looking good, but you've got to look good too. And you've got to look good because the way you look and your perspective on the way you look definitely impacts how you feel and definitely will skyrocket your confidence. And so my passion for beauty and makeup and skincare and fashion and hair and everything that goes into how we design the way that we look comes from that place. We've got to look good even though there are some more important things than how we look too. You feel me? And there's definitely all of those aspects of our personal well-being, and I've posted randomly some videos in the past where I discussed, for example, how to start an exercise routine because I feel like we need to take care of our bodies and our health. I also discussed, kind of from a relationship perspective, how to fight fair with someone. Not how to not fight at all, but how to fight fairly, and so that the fight will be productive and not necessarily just a big old mess. And that's where today's video is kind of coming from. Beginning in Halloween and kind of lasting through New Year's, it is full of food. The holiday season is full of food. I've mentioned before that I was able to lose almost 60 pounds. I just celebrated my 5-year anniversary of keeping that weight off. Yay, thank God. And at some point, I know a couple of you had asked me about my weight loss journey, and I will be sharing that with you guys in the near future. But that being said, food is ever so present during the holidays, most especially at Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I mean, there's all that Thanksgiving food. We've got an actual phrase for it, Thanksgiving food. And so my goal with this quick conversation with you guys is to prevent the food from ruining your day and ruining how you feel about yourself, because it's entirely possible. Many people gain weight during the holidays and they're unhappy about it. I mean, if you eat like crazy and you put on some pounds and you don't care, more power to you. But it's for the rest of us that really want to enjoy the holidays and the foods that we don't get to see any other time during the year, or the pie that Aunt Betty made that we only see Aunt Betty once a year, and so we feel like, oh my God, we have to have the pie today because I won't see it for a whole other year. And so we want to make sure that we can kind of deal with all that food and not hate ourselves at the end of the day or at the end of the holiday season. So my guide for you, my perspective, my personal experience when it comes to dealing with Thanksgiving Day food goes like this. Own the decisions that you make that day. Be very conscious and be very mindful about the food that you're putting on your plate and what you're putting in your mouth. So what does that mean? Think about in advance some of the dishes or some of the special holiday foods, in this case Thanksgiving. Think about the foods that you're actually really looking forward to. And then you might not be as persuaded by that other food that winds up randomly crossing your path that day that you hadn't even thought about before you got to the table. Think about what you're excited about on Thanksgiving and what you're looking forward to, because then it will mean more. I also want you to think about your portion sizes, because first of all, if you've ever looked at the size of a Thanksgiving Day plate, I mean, your stomach is only like this big, right? And when you look at what's on the plate, holy cow! The other thing going along with portion sizes is that the foods you'll be eating that day might actually be quite a bit richer than you're normally used to. And so your normal serving of steamed broccoli should probably not be the same size as the, for example, bean casserole or some other form of a vegetable dish that's probably loaded with butter and all kinds of other wonderfulness. It's gonna have way more calories than your steamed broccoli. So be very mindful of the portion sizes that you eat on that particular day. The last thing when I say you should own your decisions that you make that day has to do with dessert. If you're going to deprive yourself of dessert and then be really grumpy about it, well, that's not very productive, and I don't recommend that. And when you choose your desserts that you're going to have, notice I put an S on it, and when you choose your desserts that you're going to have that day, eat them without the guilt. Because if you have the guilt at the end of the day, after having enjoyed such wonderfulness in apple pie or pumpkin pie or whatever, pecan pie, whatever other kind of Thanksgiving pie you wind up running into that day, if you're going to eat it for the love of all that is holy and pure, please enjoy it. Because I do not want anyone to end Thanksgiving Day and the Thanksgiving Day meal full of regret, full of guilt, and full of grumpiness. And I feel like as long as you are present in all of the decisions you make that day and you're not mindlessly eating and you own every food decision that you make that day, you will be in a way better place otherwise. And the way I want to end this conversation is, of course, the idea that Thanksgiving is not just about food. It is about being thankful. And I will give you a little insight into me and what I am thankful for this year. I've indicated a couple of times that I moved from the West Coast back to the East Coast where I was born and raised, and that move in and of itself was killer. It involved, and I never went into detail, but it involved my husband and I closing our business that we ran for 12 years on the West Coast. And it was very successful, but we couldn't run it from the East Coast, and therefore we had to close it. And as such, we moved to the East Coast and neither of us had a job. And that was stressful in and of itself. Also, I indicated that I moved back to the East Coast in order to be closer to my family. And back in August, I never mentioned to you guys that my father, very unexpectedly and far too soon, passed away. And so that was definitely a left field kick in the stomach and punch to the face. And it was something that we individually and as a family had to deal with. And so I am grateful for the inner strength that I didn't know that I had in order to try to get through those challenging times, both very different from each other, but challenging nonetheless. And I'm also very thankful for the support of my friends and family who helped my husband and I get through that awfulness that was 2016. And I also just want to say that I am so very grateful to YouTube and you guys, because YouTube is my happy place. And it's part of the reason I never mentioned what was going on in my family, because YouTube was my place to escape and my place to kind of literally cut off all of those emotions that were literally, felt like were suffocating me and choking me. I was a straight A student nerd my entire life. I never received anything but an A, and I hated art class, and I never did anything creative. And the fact that now I've got this video channel, I'm creating videos. I'm in a place where I never thought I would find myself. And for someone who thought that they didn't like art and being creative, eyeshadow palettes are my paints, and my face is my canvas. And as a bonus, I feel like makeup and beauty and all that goes along with it also helps me feel better. And so I am also grateful for YouTube for giving me the platform, and for you guys for actually listening, because it'd be pretty sad if I was making all these videos and nobody was watching. So I want to leave you with 2 questions. What is your favorite Thanksgiving food that you're looking forward to? P.S. mine is stuffing. I could fill my entire plate with stuffing. Holy cow. My other question for you is, what are you thankful for this year? Because it's important that we reflect on both the food and what we're grateful for on Thanksgiving. So I want to end today's video by saying thank you so much for spending this time with me today and all of my videos before. And in the comment section below, where I really feel like I am very slowly getting to know so many of you, and that has also been a blast. So if you like this video and the idea of me talking about intermittently some other things besides just beauty products, then give this video a thumbs up. If you're one of my subscribers, thank you again so much for all of your support. And if you aren't one of my subscribers, I welcome you to be, because your support will help my channel grow, which is definitely what I've been working on. Have a really great holiday, a really great rest of the day, and in the meantime, thanks.